What up guys, Super Metal 983 here bringing you another album review, and this time I've got a very violent release for you to check out. If you're into your slam or your beatdown, then this is definitely a release you need to check out. But I'm going to be reviewing the debut EP from Lashing Out, entitled The Corner Shop. This is released under Hollow Crown Records. Now, if you aren't too familiar with Lashing Out, they are a 5-piece, as I said, slamming beatdown sort of band, hailing from Scotland, and I first got introduce this band not too long ago with this EP dropping on Slam Worldwide, and I'd heard their name going about in the UK beatdown slam scene fairly recently, so I was really eager to check them out and see what all the fuss was about. And I have to say, this EP is absolutely fantastic if you ask me. It's 5 tracks and runs around just over 21 minutes in length, and the perfect way to describe this band is a slamming beatdown deathcore sort of orientation. It's kind of like the best way I can describe the sound of this band is a combination of the Acacia strain meets Desolated meets Ingested, all combined into one release, and that's kind of what I feel like this EP definitely offers itself, is a lot of variation in the process. Like, when you listen to this, you can detect all the elements that they're going for with their sound. There's elements of beatdown in there, there's elements of straight up deathcore, there's elements of hardcore in there, and some repulsively sick and brutal slams throughout the entire course of this EP's length. I mean, I absolutely love this EP. It's very fun and very enjoyable to listen to. The first thing I noticed when I listened to this EP was the production value behind this and the way it's being recorded. It kind of puts us in mind in a very similar aspect to Carbine's Cold-Blooded, which is another band. If you're a fan of them, definitely check these guys out. It kind of has that sort of production value behind it. It's very loud, very punchy, especially the one thing that stuck out for me on this release was the bass tone on this. It's really clanky and very rumbly in the background there, but it cuts through the mix just fine to give it that real hard-hitting value to it. And I really, it's one thing that I do look for when it comes to beatdown, is that kind of bass tone, because I really think it just brings a certain aspect of violence to the overall sound. It gives it that kind of, I know I use this term a lot, clank sort of variety to it, which really I think sets a good mood for a violent, heavy slam when it comes in, especially matching in with the guitars being very loud, very punchy, and very quite obnoxious in a way. But that is in no way sense of it a bad thing, because I think it overall adds to the overall atmosphere and really gives it that gives it more of a punch, if you ask me. It really kicks you in the teeth, if you ask me. But other than that, the drums sound absolutely fantastic on this. Really gives it that real pummeling factor behind it that really amps it up and really makes it seem very violent and such. And also the vocals are definitely something to behold on this EP, because there's a lot of dynamics going on in the vocal range, from not just the vocals that are performed on here, but to the guest spots as well, giving it a lot of variation there. It's not just a straight up monotone performance throughout the entire course of it, which a lot of slam beatdown bands, I feel, nowadays definitely have that monotone style. It's just the same thing repeated over and over again, or they just stick with the monotone voice. But don't expect that on this, because you get a lot of vocal attention on here, from obviously a monstrous guttural low on here, to pig squeals, to hardcore-esque vocals that really give it that overwhelming urge. I mean, there's one song on here, GCHXC, which it features PaulWWilson of Short Fuse 59. Yeah, Short Fuse 59, whatever. Yeah, that song at the end, when Ryan comes in, you just feel like, oh, it pumps you right up, and then just wallops you right in the face with a 10-ton fucking hammer, and it really hits hard, if you ask me. He's not the only guest spot, as I said. You get also Jay Ingram of Broken Down, another great vocalist to appear on here. Ferguson Soulsby on from Street Pastor, also laying down on the song. Those two vocalists laying down on the Cloud Gang, which that sample of John from Fake Taxi, oh my god, that fucking cracked me up when I first heard that. I was waiting for a band to drop a release with that little sample on there, and it made me do. I absolutely love that sample. And also the samples that are on here are very sick. It kind of harkens back to the old days of slam and deathcore with the likes of Suicide Silence, Family Guy EP. It really puts me in mind, and especially on the first song, Nasal, and because they've got dollar signs on a lot of stuff, I can't really read it. Nasal Deconstant. I'm not good at pronunciation, but the first track, well, that sample at the start of Family Guy really put us in mind in that. It made us kind of a flashback to the old stars, so I really enjoyed that, and that was a good factor to add in there. And then you got the Warriors featuring Christian Tustin of Detest, which we'll talk about Detest in a future video, so keep an eye out for that. And Brian Johnson of Insidious Asphyxiation laying down their vocals as well, especially towards the end. One thing I want to point out of Brian, that disgusting piggy at the end is just filthy sound, and just kind of puts us in mind of crepitation a little bit. You know, Chris Butterworth's kind of like really high-pitched piggy noise. It really harkened back to then. And then also a song that really stuck out for me was the last track, Half Kid, Half Pig, which features a lot of guests. So it gets Alan from Detest. Oh, sorry. Alan from Distant, and Connor Muscat, and Callum Cruikshank. Sorry, I'm struggling to read at the moment, but anyway, yeah, those guys laying down some vocals on there, and it's just, that song as a whole, it's a 5-minute song, and it is an absolute all-out assault, if you ask me. So if you want some quality slam beatdown that's being released in 2019 and presented in 2019, look no further than Lashing Out with their debut EP, The Corn Shop. It's such a fun, enjoyable release, but it is still going to absolutely annihilate you and pound you right into the fucking ground like Edward Norton did in American History X. You know, like, that's how hard this thing hits, but it's still fun and enjoyable, and it's something you just really need to check out, if you ask me. So if you want to check out Lashing Out, links will be down below. Wait and check out this EP, and also the stream of the EP is on Slam Worldwide, and I'll leave links to, I believe Holocron Records is releasing a tape variant, so if you want to pick up a copy, link down below, and I just hope that they get a CD copy, because, you know, I'm a CD collector, but maybe I'll pick up a tape. We'll see what happens. But yeah, make sure you check out this EP. For an overall score, though, I'm going to give this a solid 9 out of 10. Excellent EP, quality release, and just something fun and enjoyable that you just need to hear in 2019. For fans of Desolated, Carbine, Ingested, and the Acacia Train, this is definitely for you. And I'll see you until next video, and remember, stay metal, and I'll see you later.